Okay, today I'm going to be doing a demonstration on the digestive system with this little demonstration I have here. So right here is a small dish that is going to be a representation of the mouth, and these are my teeth, or lips or hands, that I'm going to use to cut up the peanut butter sandwich. Another name for the mouth is like the buccal cavity, and this is obviously the beginning of the digestive system. And then the lips can also act as a prehensile organ, like as a horse, as like grabbing the food with their lips. And like for us, we use it in our hands. So now I'm going to use the water, which is going to be saliva. And saliva has enzymes and buffers that help break down the food to prepare it for the digestive system. And then obviously when you eat a peanut butter sandwich, you need milk to wash down your peanut butter sandwich. And now I'm going to use the spatula as like my masher, and it's going to grind up the food, and this is like a representation of the back of your teeth. And breaking it up is just preparing it for the stomach, because the particles need to be smaller because the stomach is not going to be able to process it as well. This is also called mastication, and this is actually just physically breaking it down. Like, it's just a fancy word for breaking down the food for your stomach. And now I'm going to dump the particles into the bag, and then my assistant Jack here is going to hold it. And I'm going to dump this in the bag, and we're just going to pretend it already went through the esophagus, because the esophagus is the transportation of the particles to the stomach. And then this Coke I'm going to use as like the chemicals and the acids that are in the stomach to also help break down food. They have enzymes and buffers in them as well. And then the body of the stomach, the stomach has this part that is called the body, and it has muscle contractions that help mix the food. And that is what my hands are going to do. It's going to mix up the particles in the stomach. The pyloric antrum is actually responsible for most of the grinding and swallowing the food, which actually stimulates the pyloric antrum, and it has vigorously mixing and contractions that go on. The pylorus maintains muscle tone during stomach contractions, so it's not actually completely closed. So this is why if you when you take medications, or if you were to ingest liquid poison, that's why you get sick faster, because the liquids go through the stomach a lot faster than the actual particles. Okay, and now I'm going to also use Jack help again. I'm going to dump, this is going to be my small intestine, and it's nylon, and I'm going to dump the particles into the nylon. We're going to do this as best as possible. And as you can see, the liquids are obviously already going out of the small intestine, and this is a good representation that the body is absorbing all the nutrients into the bloodstream. And the small intestine has this villi in the small intestine, which is a good way to help absorb any nutrients. And then they each contain thousands of microvilli, which have many digestive enzymes and carry molecules embedded for digestion, absorption of nutrients, vitamins, and minerals. And they also have peristaltic waves, such like the stomach muscles, and these will mix the intestine contents and slow the movement. The intestine wants the movements to the contents to go slow through the intestine, so you can digest all of the particles. It's also like a churning kind of going on, if you want to think of it like that. And it's called segmental contractions that actually help slow the movement. So whenever you have diarrhea, it's actually a lack of segmental contractions, and so you want to think of it as like a garden hose. It just goes straight through really fast, like water. And now this I'm going to use as my large intestine as an example. The large intestine absorbs any more nutrients or vitamins or minerals that could be missed in the small intestine, and this is where you get your energy from, the large intestine. The volatile fatty acids are produced by microbes that are absorbed from the cecum and colon for energy. Many species except the horse, which they're a different story, rely on the hindgut for fermentation. And now, the process of expelling feces. This can be voluntary, and the rectum is the terminal part of the large intestine. I know this can be kind of gross, but there are numerous mucus secretions that help lubricate and move the feces throughout the large intestine. And there you go. That is your digestive system. So I hope you learned something here today, and you can try this at home. It was pretty easy.